What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Hard Copy Media podcast. My name is Colton. I'm the owner of Hard Copy Media, and today I've got a solo episode for you. As you can see, I've got an imaginary friend sitting over here today, so it's just going to be me talking, but I've got a topic that I think is going to be something that not just fuels the strategy behind this podcast, but also is something that most marketing directors, creative directors, or any sort of business owner, entrepreneur, any content creator can utilize, and that's content atomization. So this is nothing new. Dan Martell, many entrepreneurs, Gary Vee, have all preached this for years and years and years and years. But the concept of content atomization is that you take one, let's call it a hero asset, a long form asset, and from that asset, you create a whole little army of pieces of content that you can then put out into the marketplace. So, for example, with this podcast, I record one long episode, and then from that, I pull a transcript, and that goes on with the posting as well. That can be turned into a blog post. That could be turned into quote cards for social media. That can be turned into a whole bunch of pieces of an email newsletter, or anything to kind of boost up the written SEO portion of anything. It's super easy to turn those around and button those up with some AI tools these days as well. Used to be you'd have to work with a copywriter, but such are the times that we live in. Let's not get into the good or bad of that right now. Then, on top of that, you can also pull out social media clips, little bite-sized sound pieces that then you can take and put out in Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, on LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, wherever your audience is consuming your content. So now from that one podcast episode, I have a blog, maybe an email newsletter, some quote cards. I've got social media reels. I've got, of course, the full podcast as well that I can put out via long form platforms like YouTube, et cetera. I can embed it on my website, get the RSS feed from the actual podcast embedded as well. There's a lot of different ways that you can splice that piece into a whole bunch of content. And this is super useful, especially for busy entrepreneurs, because you can come in, you can record a whole bunch of content in a single day, and then from that you get months worth of content to post. All right. And really good entrepreneurs and speakers and CEOs, et cetera, who do this regularly and are really accustomed to speaking on camera, they'll be able to do this and spit out a bunch of good value adds that make it even easier for you to grab that content, pull it out, push it together into reels, pull it into, your newsletters, et cetera, and then put it out there. And, if you get guests and things on, say, a podcast as well, you've got content for them too. It increases your reach. Or, of course, if you do anything to the tune of, maybe it's just talking head videos, your FAQ questions, things like that in a day, that content as well can be pulled and atomized and pushed out. So content atomization is really one of the, in my opinion, the underused strategies for content creation. And the AI tools that are out there now have only really bolstered your ability to successfully do that, even with a limited team. It doesn't take now a copywriter and a blog and SEO strategist, a video editor, and a social media manager in order to atomize a piece of content really well. It takes like one creative with the will and the grit and a few strategically placed AI tools, and they're going to be able to take all of your long form content and spin it up into a ton of short form, written, and other mediums of content. So it goes both ways too. Like, let's say instead of a podcast video or any form of video, you have a really long blog post that you've written. Fantastic. Do a read of it on camera. You've now got a blog post. You've now got your video script version of it. Pull socials from that, pull sound bites from that, put the video up, put multiple videos up to accompany each one of your blog posts. It's about creating content that will meet your audience wherever they're consuming it. I know that attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Thanks, TikTok. You're the problem. But people do still consume content where they're most comfortable consuming it. Some folks listen to podcasts. Some folks watch videos. Some folks still read newsletters, emails, blog posts, things like that. So if you can take your content and saturate your essentially your audience with all the different ways that they consume it. It's not about getting 1 billion people to read your newsletter or getting 1 million views on a YouTube video. It's if you get 50,000 views on a video and then another, 5,000 on the reels, that's probably inverse. You get probably closer to 50,000 on the reels, just the way all the algorithms are pushing reels on everyone right now. The point is you get that content to your audience where it meets their habits of consuming it. Okay, so site traffic is great. You can measure your site traffic to your blog, to, if you're posting your podcast on your website, etc. But, then it translates into how many, listening hours, watching hours, how many views did you get across the entire aggregate piece. And when you atomize a piece of content, you're not pushing yourself down just one distribution channel. You're able to pull and look at all of those different platforms to see where you're actually meeting your audience, where they're consuming your content. So content atomization, something we firmly believe in here at Hard Copy Media. It's something that we practice as well as preach to our clients. And it is something that really ensures you're maximizing your investment in terms of getting the most out of it. Okay, biggest ROIs initially will come from atomizing a good quality piece of content and then pushing that out strategically across all the channels where your audience is going to be able to consume it. So in today's day and age, there is no, one right solution to social media or to going viral or to winning the algorithm or anything. But you can definitely maximize your chances by coming up with one solid and meaningful long-form piece of content, whether it's written, video, audio, etc., and then using the tools at your disposal to take that piece and turn it into something that can transcend the original medium. That's the whole point. And like I said, this isn't something new. I didn't invent this by any means. I mean, Dan Martell, Gary Vee, 1 billion other entrepreneurs out there and content creators have preached this for years. But it is something that I think nowadays still gets buried and kind of lost among the kind of AI generate everything nonsense, is that you still need to, create the piece and then take it and carve it up and then distribute it. Yes, AI can help with that, but it still takes an act of creation in the beginning. All right. And that's where we come in to help. We can help you come up with the ideas. We can help you come up with, how many platforms we can push this content out on. We can carve it up for you. We can help button it up and add pretty graphics and all of that and make it engaging. And then that way you're able to take that content and put it out across all the platforms that you care about, meet your audience where they're at, and hopefully then grow your business, whether that's more sales, more awareness, whatever target you're chasing. You don't just do anything for the sake of doing it. You have to have a target that you're chasing by creating that content. So everything we do here is pretty strategic in terms of that. We always start with the why and then work backwards to the how and the what. I think that's just about all I've got to say today on content atomization. I got to say I am rocking a new oversized tee from our sample fit here with a new printing style. I forget which one it is, but it's the one where they press the vinyl on and it should wash better and stuff, but I like it. It's I've been to the oversized tees lately. It's a good fit. If you didn't know, we do have merch. It's not like that's a core part of our business. I like merch. So if you ever want to support us in any way, feel free to check out the merch tab on our website. I promise that anything you spend, we will take and turn into, short films, passion projects, spec ads, or any of the other fun things that our creative bunch here in Arizona likes to get up to. But if you had your druthers, what would be your kind of content atomization roadmap? What are you most comfortable starting in? Are you most comfortable starting off with a video? Or are you most comfortable starting off with a blog post or a written script or, maybe a gigantic, short ebook or something? What would be your first choice for your long form piece of content? And then how would you translate that into all the other platforms and mediums that your target audience is currently consuming content on? I would love to know if you do any content atomization, kind of what your strategy, what your game plan is. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any questions about content atomization, how to structure it, what tools to use, all of that, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comments below. I'll be down there checking them out, and I hope that just a little reminder about the benefits of content atomization will help inspire some content creation in your day, because it is so much more fun to create cool stuff than it is to just sit and scroll and consume all day. So I hope this has been helpful. Shout out any tools, any workflows, any secrets you got in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me ramble here on the Hard Copy Media Podcast. I really appreciate it, and I know that your time is the most valuable thing that you've got. So thank you for choosing to spend it with me, maybe on 1.5 speed or 2x. Hey, it works. I'm an editor. I get it. I listen to everything on 2x. So with that said, if you enjoyed this content, please consider giving us a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We would love to have you along for the journey. And very soon, I promise to have some more exciting and innovative guests over here in the chair with me so that we can talk to them all about video production, the creative process, and video marketing in this modern age. Thank you so much. I will see you on the next one.